Shadeur Sanders was fantastic in the first half of this game.
The main thing is like I just like throwing the ball. I just like throwing the ball a lot, and you know, in some situations, you can't just throw your dog a bone sometimes.
The entire NFL world stopped scrolling when they saw what Shadeur Sanders said after beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Social media exploded. Analysts started debating. Haters started hating. And just like that, a rookie quarterback who was supposed to be tanking for draft position became the most talked about player in football.
Well, don't talk to the Browns about draft position or the future. Today was all about beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they did just that. In the end, the Browns beat Pittsburgh 13-6. Cleveland improving to 4-12 on the season. One win better than last season, and they've still got one game left next weekend against the Cincinnati Bengals.
December 28, 2025, the day Shadeur Sanders didn't just win a football game. He announced his arrival with a statement so bold, so unapologetic, so perfectly him that it sent shockwaves through the entire league. The main thing is I just like throwing the ball.
How about how this team fights? Whatever's in front of us, we fight. We fight for 60 minutes together because we care about each other.
Just like throwing the ball a lot. And you know, in some situations, you can't just throw your dog a bone sometime. Wait, stop. Let that sink in for a second. This kid, this rookie in his 6th NFL start, just beat Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers with the worst offensive line in football, the worst receiving core in football, and then had the audacity to tell the world he wishes he could throw even more. That's not confidence. That's not arrogance. That's something else entirely. That's the DNA of a franchise quarterback who refuses to apologize for wanting greatness. And the internet absolutely lost its mind. Within hours, the quote was everywhere. Twitter exploded with over 200,000 mentions of Shadeur's name. TikTok was flooded with reaction videos.
Just watched Shadeur Sanders outplay Aaron bleepin' Rodgers for all 4 quarters for a signature win.
Instagram comment sections turned into war zones between believers and doubters. Sports talk shows cleared their entire Monday lineup to dissect what he said and what it means for the future of the Cleveland Browns. But here's what everyone seems to be missing in all the noise and hot takes and viral moments. This wasn't just some cocky rookie running his mouth after a lucky win. This was the culmination of a performance that should have been impossible, a statement backed up by one of the gutsiest, most improbable victories of the entire 2025 NFL season. Let's rewind to kickoff. Cleveland Browns, 3 wins and 12 losses, absolutely nothing to play for except pride.
Right here, Shadeur to Tillman. Right? Let's just play it and get it going right here.
12 for Cleveland, second possession.
I mean, that's a hell of a pass.
Pittsburgh Steelers fighting desperately for the AFC North title after Baltimore kept their hopes alive with a Saturday night victory. The Steelers needed this game. They came to Cleveland with playoff dreams and division championship aspirations. They had everything on the line, and standing in their way, a rookie quarterback working behind an offensive line that Pro Football Focus ranked dead last in the entire National Football League.
Shadeur Sanders, the worst, maybe the worst throw of the year, the worst interception of the year right here. I don't know what he was thinking. He threw up an air ball, a pop-up. What are you doing? Why would you do that?
Throwing to receivers that Pro Football Focus also ranked dead last, going up against a defense hungry for blood, and a future Hall of Fame quarterback on the opposite sideline who's thrown for over 63,000 yards and 500 touchdowns in his legendary career. The odds weren't just stacked against Shadeur Sanders. They were impossible. Nobody expected Cleveland to compete. Nobody thought a 6-start rookie could outduel Aaron Rodgers. Nobody believed the Browns had any business winning this football game. Shadeur Sanders didn't get the memo. The game started exactly how fairy tales are written. That opening drive, Shadeur came out slinging like he was playing Madden on rookie mode. 19 yards to Brendan Bates while evading a collapsing pocket. Crucial 3rd down conversion to Jerry Jeudy with defenders draped all over him. The offense was moving. The rookie was cooking. Cleveland fans started believing something special might happen. Then came the throw that made everyone watching sit up and pay attention. Second drive of the game. Shadeur drops back, scans the field, and launches an absolute laser 40.
But Aaron went 21 of 39. Yikes. That means 18 incompletions against 21 completions. 18 incomplete for only 168.
2 yards down the left sideline to Cedric Tillman. Perfect trajectory, perfect velocity, perfect placement. That's not a rookie throw. That's a franchise quarterback demonstrating he belongs on this stage. But the moment that truly announced his arrival. The 28-yard touchdown strike to Harold Fannin Jr. that put Cleveland up 10-0 and sent Huntington Bank Field into absolute pandemonium. The connection between Shadeur and Fannin all season has been special. Two rookies who came into this league together, who have been each other's security blanket through the worst conditions imaginable, who have developed a chemistry that transcends the...
I'm going to remind you, Pro Football Focus ranks Shadeur's offensive line dead last in the National Football League. Pro Football Focus ranks Shadeur's receiving core dead last in the National Football League. And after today...
trash fire surrounding them. And on that touchdown, Shadeur placed the ball perfectly, high enough that only Fannin could reach it, smart enough that the defense had zero chance. Fannin twisted his body, secured the catch at the goal line, rolled across into the end zone, and Cleveland erupted. For the first time all season, Browns fans witnessed something they haven't seen in decades. A young quarterback making winning plays when the lights are brightest. A franchise quarterback
so poised, he just got it. That team knows it can win with it, with his it factor. His poise, his calm, his accuracy. When he sets and fires, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Showing up in the moments that matter most. Then disaster struck. Harold Fannin aggravated a groin injury on that same touchdown catch. He was done, out for the game. Gone just like that. Shadeur's only reliable weapon, his connection, his fellow rookie who understood the struggle, disappeared from the equation. The degree of difficulty just went from impossibly hard to absolutely insane. Most rookies would have panicked. Most quarterbacks would have folded when their security blanket vanished. Most players would have used that injury as an excuse for why they couldn't finish the job. Shadeur Sanders,
A lead they were able to hang on to, but on the play, he's out. He's lost.
just kept playing football. He absorbed the blow, adjusted on the fly, and continued fighting with what he had left. Now let's address the elephant in the room because Shadeur's performance wasn't perfect. He threw 2 interceptions. One of them was legitimately one of the worst throws of the entire year, a pop-up that looked like something from a high school blooper reel. The second half was ugly offensively. There were moments where he looked exactly like what he is, a rookie still learning how to play quarterback in the National Football League. But here's the part that separates this performance from just another mediocre rookie outing. Here's the context that makes his viral quote afterwards completely justified. Shadeur Sanders finished 17 of 23 for 186 yards against one of football's elite defenses. Against a Steelers pass rush that was hunting him relentlessly, collapsing that terrible offensive line on every single snap. Meanwhile, on the other sideline, Aaron Rodgers went 21 of 39 with 18 incompletions for only 168 yards, 3 of 15 on third down, 0 of 4 on fourth down. The 4-time MVP, surrounded by actual NFL talent, protected by a competent offensive line, completely collapsed when his team needed him most. Read those numbers again slowly. A rookie working with practice squad receivers and turnstiles blocking for him outplayed a future Hall of Famer in a game with legitimate playoff implications. That's not luck. That's not a fluke. That's the it factor showing up when everything around you is falling apart. The Cleveland defense deserves massive credit for suffocating Pittsburgh all afternoon. Devin Bush, the former Steelers first-rounder who found new life in Cleveland, led the charge with 9 tackles in his revenge game against his old team. Mohamed Diabate, the rookie linebacker from UCLA, matched him with 9 tackles while playing the entire second half on a badly injured ankle. Grant Delpit added 8 of his own. Myles Garrett didn't get his record-breaking sack, but the defensive front still harassed Rodgers into uncomfortable decisions all game long. But make absolutely no mistake about who won this football game. This was Shadeur's signature moment. This was his announcement to the leg. This was the afternoon he proved every draft analyst who questioned whether he could play at this level completely wrong. So when Shadeur stood at that podium after the game and said he just likes throwing the ball, that he wishes he could throw even more, that you can't just throw your dog a bone sometimes, he wasn't being disrespectful. He wasn't being cocky. He was being honest about who he is as a competitor. He's Deion Sanders' son. Primetime's DNA runs through his veins. Confidence isn't something he learned. It's something he inherited. And after outdueling Aaron Rodgers with the league's worst infrastructure, he earned the right to speak his truth. The social media reaction was predictably explosive and divided. Browns fans are treating him like the second coming of Bernie Kosar. Steelers fans are calling him disrespectful and classless. NFL analysts are split down the middle between those celebrating his swagger and those warning him about bulletin board material. Former players started weighing in immediately. Some praised his confidence as exactly what Cleveland needs after years of quarterback purgatory. Others cautioned that the league has a way of humbling young players who talk too much too soon. The debate raged across every platform, every sports show, every comment section, and Deion Sanders. Coach Prime was reportedly beaming with pride watching his son not just win, but win with the kind of swagger that made Deion a legend. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You can coach technique and footwork and progressions, but you can't coach that unshakable belief that you're the best player on the field. Shadeur was born with it. The comparisons to other rookie quarterbacks this season are stark and revealing. Caleb Williams has better weapons, but has struggled with consistency and has shown moments of frustration. Bo Nix has a system perfectly tailored to his strengths and hasn't faced nearly the adversity Shadeur battles every single week. Jaden Daniels walked into a decent situation in Washington with competent coaching and serviceable talent around him. Shadeur Sanders is operating behind turnstiles throwing to receivers who wouldn't start for most college programs, and he's still finding ways to win football games against playoff-caliber opponents. That's not just impressive, that's franchise-altering. Think about what this win means beyond just one game. Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland's head coach who's been on the hot seat all season, just bought himself another year with this upset. The Browns, who everyone assumed were tanking for a top draft pick, just threw the entire AFC North playoff race into complete chaos. Baltimore's season stays alive. Pittsburgh's path to the division title became infinitely more complicated, and it all happened because a rookie quarterback refused to be defined by his circumstances, refused to accept that his supporting cast limited what he could accomplish, refused to play scared against a legend. The analytics crowd will dock his quarterback rating for those 2 interceptions. The stat nerds will point out the completion percentage and lack of explosive plays in the second half. Fine, let them obsess over numbers. Anyone watching with actual football knowledge saw something far more valuable than statistics. They saw competence under pressure. They saw poise in chaos. They saw a quarterback who processes defenses quickly, makes pre-snap adjustments naturally, manipulates safeties with his eyes, and delivers accurate footballs when given time. They saw someone who understands the mental demands of the hardest position in sports. That 42-yard throw to Tillman wasn't luck. That was reading the defense correctly, recognizing the coverage, trusting the throw. The touchdown to Fannin wasn't a prayer. That was anticipation, placement, understanding leverage. These are NFL quarterback skills that can't be taught. You either have them or you don't. Shadeur Sanders has them. Yes, he threw a terrible interception that made everyone watching cringe. Yes, there were mistakes. Yes, he's still raw and unpolished in areas. But here's what separates great quarterbacks from mediocre ones. Great quarterbacks win despite their mistakes. Great quarterbacks outplay Hall of Fame competition. Great quarterbacks lead upset victories when everything around them is collapsing. Shadeur Sanders just checked every single box. The implications of this performance extend far beyond Week 17. This win potentially saved Baltimore's entire season. It definitely complicated Pittsburgh's playoff positioning. It absolutely validated Cleveland's decision to start Sanders over veteran options. Because when your most reliable player is a rookie quarterback, when your best chance to win involves a kid playing established legends, when your franchise's future hope is thriving under impossible conditions, that's when you know you found something genuinely special. Mike Tomlin is facing serious questions after this loss. That 4th down decision from the 19-yard line with 90 seconds left and all 3 timeouts remaining was inexcusable. Just punt the ball back. Trust your dominant defense. Force the rookie to drive 90-plus yards with the game on the line. Instead, Tomlin got aggressive at the wrong moment. Pittsburgh turned it over on downs. Cleveland bled the clock. Game over. Division title hopes hanging by a thread. The debate isn't whether Shadeur can play anymore. Sunday answered that question definitively. The debate now is how high his ceiling actually climbs. After watching him outplay Aaron Rodgers with the NFL's worst supporting cast, after watching him operate without his favorite target, after watching him engineer wins under conditions that would break most established quarterbacks, the ceiling looks astronomical. Every elite quarterback in NFL history went through this exact phase. Tom Brady threw pick sixes as a rookie. Peyton Manning set the interception record for first-year players. Patrick Mahomes sat an entire season learning. Josh Allen looked like a complete project his first 2 years. The key isn't perfection. The key is trajectory. The key is showing improvement. The key is winning games you're not supposed to win while learning on the job. Shadeur Sanders just checked every single box. So when he stood at that podium and said he just likes throwing the ball, that he wishes he could do it more, that you can't just throw your dog a bone sometimes, he wasn't being reckless with his words. He was being authentic about his competitive fire. He was letting the world know that despite the circumstances, despite the worst offensive line and worst receivers in football, despite losing his security blanket mid-game, he still believes he can sling it with anybody. That's not arrogance. That's championship DNA. The narratives need updating. The takes need revising. The doubters need acknowledging reality. Because ready or not, Shadeur Sanders just announced his arrival in the NFL in the loudest possible way, by beating a division rival led by a Hall of Fame quarterback in a game with real playoff implications, by performing under impossible circumstances, by speaking his truth unapologetically afterwards. He's not perfect, he's not polished, he's not the finished product, but he's real, he's capable, he's confident, and he just proved he belongs at this level. Cleveland might have accidentally stumbled into their quarterback of the future, while everyone was focused on draft positioning and tank strategies. The Steelers might have accidentally lost their grip on the division, while overlooking a rookie they thought they could dominate. And Shadeur Sanders might have accidentally silenced every single person who questioned whether Dayan's kid could actually play at this level. The answer is clear now. Not only can he play, he can win against playoff teams, against Hall of Fame quarterbacks, against all odds. And he can do it with style, with swagger, with the kind of confidence that makes highlight reels and breaks the internet. One game left in the season. The Cincinnati Bengals waiting next weekend. The entire football world watching to see if this was a signature moment or a temporary flash. The pressure is on. The spotlight is brightest. The stakes are clear. Welcome to the NFL, Shadeur Sanders. Your arrival has officially been announced. The doubters have been silenced. The viral quote is out there. Now comes the hard part, doing it again.